want another win. I mean, yeah.
You walked on the bench and you were high-fiving your teammates. It looked like you were sharing an emphatic message. What was that message to your team?
I mean, they came here. They came here and they win the game against the team that fifth, fourth, fifth, right? Fifth.
Yes, fifth.
So I just wanted to share the moment with my players because I'm proud of them. 104 points. We did a couple of good assignments and this team known getting offensive rebounds and second chance points. We held them in 7 offensive rebounds and 9 second chance points, and they should be proud of themselves because they executed very, very, very well.
Yeah, that's something you emphasized ahead of the game was that, the wings are going to score inside. It's inevitable, but it's just how we respond. So what impressed you most about your team's ability to, maintain that strong response versus, the slumped shoulders that you mentioned, et cetera?
Well, they whenever but yeah, we talked about it. They still score 48 points in the paint. So as I said, we talked together. We said they are going to score, and they're gonna. This is the way that they score. All we need to do is just like not get frustrated with that, and my team has a lot of maturity that stay locked in through the course of the game. I think we beat Dallas in every quarter. Oh, not last quarter. So first, second, and third quarter we outscored them, right? So they did a pretty good job today.
And then this gives you guys a 2-game edge as far as like that hold on the final playoff spot. But more so, it seems like it just was another game that, established that cohesive style of play. Do you feel like that's more important right now than
Well, we
the
have
playoff
a
is?
lot of game to do. Like we need to just continue to do that. But I'm just proud and enjoying this moment with my players because this is good win for them, and they came here. They take what they needed, and I'm so happy with that. But we didn't win championship right now. We just win another game, and they know it. But their effort has to be acknowledged. So they put their heart, their tears, and everything on the court today to pull this victory, and they need to enjoy this tonight.
Thanks, Emre.
Yeah.
We'll go to Steven
Oh.
on Zoom.
Hey, Coach, you all went to zone defense today for extended stretches, and it really felt like rather than going into it to like steal possessions, you guys were really dictating with it and also rebounding out of it. I was wondering, what were your assessments of when you all did go to zone today? And just how did you feel your players reacted to using it today?
When they go to zone,
No, when you went to zone today.
when we go to zone, how my team responded.
Yeah, how did you feel you all responded today?
Well, we've been working on it, and you're the one that acknowledged it first, right? So we've been working on that different defensive schemes. So it's nothing new for us. They just apply it very well today, and we scouted them, and they looked the game tape, they studied, and yeah, they apply it well. But also, like, we need to look at this way: we score with, like, we shot 58% from the threes, and we shot 55% from the field. That also gives them a confidence on defensive ends, getting stops and scoring on the other hand with a high percent. So we gotta keep continue to do that.
And then my last question for you on the offensive side, you guys running more pick and roll, it seems, increasingly since the All-Star break. And it felt like the spacing specifically today allowed you guys to get to their front court pieces and kind of manipulate from there. Just what is it about your pick and roll play with the pieces you have to use in that action that's really just kind of evolving your team on offense?
We have great guards, can read the situations, pick and roll situations. So we end up with 24 assists today. Actually, it's most of them. A lot of them was on transition, but it's come down to half court. Yeah, we trying to run a lot of pick and roll with a lot of against different schemes. We've been working on it, and again, I'm so lucky to have such a great guards can read off of pick and roll, and they make the great reads. And today, one of my guard, Courtney Williams, had 6 assists, and Marina had 4 assists, and Dana got 3 assists. So when your guards run the pick and roll and make the right reads, it's just life is easy because you get catch and shoot, which is a high percent shot in basketball. So I think that's a part of the success I have. I'm lucky to have good guards. Actually, I am also lucky to have such a great screen and roll player. Elizabeth is something that very, very, very important piece of our offense. She sets she's wide, and she set those screens, and she helps players, our guards, to find the open shots. So she's a big part of it.
I appreciate you.
Carly Bell.
Hey, Coach. How would you describe your team's communication style? We've seen them be vocal all season, but it feels like today it was more through body language. How would you describe the communication style of this team?
It was on point today. So anytime those little moments that just hit us, and they got together and they just figure it out, and that's the most important part. When they come together, when they huddle up, when they solve the problems, and that's what we've been working on, and they're great at it at the moment. We just continue to do this. We haven't won a championship yet, so it's just a good win that we have a great communication, we have a great execution, we have a high percent, and we did really good job on defensive end. We held Tierra McCoven 8 points today, only 7 field goals. We were really disruptive on her. So,
speaking of your defense, just in this second half, you guys have created more transitional points just in the 5-game span than you guys have in the entire first half. What are the differences that you've just seen between the first half and second half of that transitional game? Is it speed? Is it communication? What was kind of that last?
Well, we kind of touch base on that. I think they have a feeling that we need to share the ball more, even more. And when and getting stops and contributes to that. So when we get stopped, and we outlet immediately, and we emphasize in running, filling the lanes, and they just look for their teammates and somebody closing out to them. So they literally make the extra passes. They make winning plays. That's what we've been talking about. And they made like 24 winning plays today.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Emre.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
How good does this one feel?
Amazing! That's what Car did before the game. Woo! That's what we're gonna do after the game.
Yeah.
Woo!
This had to have been one of your guys' best offensive performances of the season collectively. What was the big difference tonight? Because it just began from the moment the ball was tipped.
I think that was probably the difference, is that we just like from the jump were just like came out like a bullet, you know. I think it's really, really important, especially against teams like Dallas who have been playing very well, to kind of start with your foot on their neck instead of trying to scrape back and come back from a deficit. Just like a little kind of punch first action.
Emre talked about pregame, just you guys responding to, you know, the runs they go on or the points they score in the paint and not letting it affect your energy, your effort. And tonight you executed that. Was there a difference in something that you did collectively, a communication collectively? What was, you know, the contributing aspect to that positive communication out there?
I think we just Emery put a lot of emphasis on like things are going to happen in flow of the game, and like the second play of the game, I think Tierra McCowan, you know, she got position and she got a bucket, and we just like like it's cool, we're gonna get the next one. Like it was just a next play mentality, and like we're gonna fix it and we're gonna really lock in and buy into what the game plan is, and then we'll live with the results. But I think that we just kind of came together, really, really locked in our tight huddles, and really tried to make the corrections and make the adjustments quick. But we didn't want to compile mistakes, and we wanted to be able to adjust quicker in game.
Did this feel like the best game communication-wise for you guys, or is there another one you can?
I think you have to over communicate, playing the zone. When we were switching it up, different possessions, so we had to really over communicate and really trust the things that are being said. So playing the zone isn't easy because you got to find people, you got to rebound out of it, you got to contest shots, and they were doing a lot of movement, and they made some great adjustments. So we had to over communicate.
One more for me. This gave you guys some cushion as far as that grip on the 8th spot, the last spot in the playoffs, but it seems like maybe more important right now is it was like a step forward in the development of the cohesion within this group. Did you feel like
Cohesion.
Is that a trigger word?
I am triggered.
Yeah, is that maybe more important at this point, considering there is still, you know, a considerable amount of the season to play?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be playing our best basketball come playoffs time, and obviously like we're trying to solidify wins here and like solidify a spot in the playoffs, but like I said, like we want to keep improving game to game, and so like seeing how this game was better than the last, like that's really good for us and really encouraging, and we're going to try and top that the next game, and then hopefully like as we roll into end of season stuff and everything that comes with that, we'll be playing our best basketball, and we'll look back to this game and be like, wow, that's a great building block for what we are achieving right now.
Mm-hmm. Carly Bell on Zoom.
We had to kind of follow up to Annie's question on communication. It seems like today, we've always seen you guys be very vocal on the court, but it seems like today it was more body language, and it just seems like there was a fluidity today. How would you describe the growth in communication from the start of the season to now? It just seems like it's been more fluid these last 3-4 games.
I mean, we were a brand new team coming into this season, right? Like we were all just learning to play with each other. So I think like this is kind of a natural thing. Like when a team plays together after a while, you're going to see like improvements, and it's going to become more fluid. And like we know what people want to do. We know what people are going to do. We can get to the right spots, like where people are going to pass it, that type of thing. It becomes like second nature. It becomes muscle memory rather than just like trying to figure it out. So yeah, I think it's looking good because we've had some time together now. Like we've learned how we play, and they can only really go up from here.
Last one. Alanna, I kind of want your assessment of the bench production recently. Like today is kind of an outlier, but these last few games we've seen the bench really perform and be able to give you starters some extra rest time of putting up some offensive numbers. Just what have you seen out of them over the since the second half of the season started?
Bench. I think like we talked about, just as the season progresses, people coming into their roles. Like I can't give Robin enough praise. I think Robin finding that confidence, finding her swag out there is scary. She make big plays. She communicates. She gets stops. She come out there when her name's called. She lead a game, whether she's playing well, like she accepts her role and she come out there and give us everything she has. But, Dana's been doing that all season. Ruthie had a freaking baby and is coming back stronger, like doing it. Morgan is giving us energy. Taylor's giving us everything. I just think that the team is like we said, progressing throughout this season, and everybody's kind of coming into their own role and respecting other people's and just trying to find their own groove. And when we all put it all together, it's this right here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, players. Thank you, everyone, for joining.